Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to another Minecraft video. So in this video, I'm going to be continuing on with the sectioned off systems, and I'm still on the blue system. I'm still going to be there for a little bit. I want to try to completely complete one area first, so that I can kind of make it easier for myself and copy and paste. Whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to copy and paste. It makes your life a lot easier. So in this video, I sort of finish off the stair areas and mess around with the stair lighting. I want to sort of keep it uniform and make everything look similar, so that's what I did. The lighting is similar to basically identical actually, to the stairs that you originally see when you come down into this area. Now, something really awesome about this adventure map, not adventure map, the survival games map, is the fact that it's completely indoors. That's something that I actually have never seen someone do. I'm sure there are a couple here and there survival games maps where the actual area is underground, but there's always an outside area. This one I wanted to make completely indoors. So that's something that is pretty awesome about this one. But when it comes to survival games maps, you want to make it very accessible. What I mean by that is you want to make it so that a player can access any point in the level, in the area, basically from anywhere. So you want to make multiple entries of access in different areas of the map. So here I finished off the stairs on this side, and starting off with the ceiling here. So what I mean by multiple areas of access is the fact that these hallways here are all connected up together. But that sewer system, let's say someone falls in there, they'll be able to actually get into these large rooms that I'll eventually make here, and be able to get into them from the sewer system, as well as getting into the sewer system from these large rooms. So you'll be able to sort of go full circle throughout the entire map. And when you're making an indoor map, it's very important, because when you're doing an outside map, it's basically done for you, because, you know, it's outside. So the cool thing about this is the fact that basically people can just kind of run into each other. Because there's all these corners and hallways and stairs, you basically kind of run into people. And that's really awesome for a survival games map, because it basically starts a ton of close encounters. And that's sort of the problem that I have with all the outdoor maps, is the fact that there aren't really any close encounters, because everybody really sees their name. You know, it's bright outside. Even if it's night, you kind of can see people's names because they're usually well lit. And this is why I like to do sort of dimmed, very dim areas. I like to make a lot of dim areas. I light up the corners, but I like to make dim areas because of the fact that you can start a lot of close encounters. So that's really awesome. So here I'm lighting up the stairs, sort of same glowy effect. So yeah, I'm still getting used to the mouse. This mouse is a lot different than the magic mouse, I can tell you that. If you ever plan on getting a magic mouse, keep this in mind. The fact that it's sort of an awkward mouse, meaning that it really doesn't have anything that it's really purposed for. It doesn't really have a purpose. What I mean by that is it's kind of awkward at doing anything, anything at all. It's got good things and it's got bad things. For example, it's really, really good for things like Photoshop, in a sense. And I say in a sense because it's also really bad at Photoshop. Now, why is it? First, I'll tell you why it's good at Photoshop. Well, it's good at Photoshop because of its multi-touch surface. You can basically scroll in any direction. So if you wanna you know, see the see a different part of your image instead of having to um, use the bars on the sides of the image. You can just simply scroll in that direction. So that's something that you can't do with a regular mouse. For example, even with a mouse that has a scroll wheel that you can scroll up and down and side to side with, for example, like the side clicking ones, even those you can only go in basically tethered directions. You can only go up and down, left and right, while on the Magic Mouse you can scroll in any direction. You can scroll in any angle, anything. So if you want to scroll diagonally up to the left, you can scroll diagonally up to the left. So that's something that I really like about the Magic Mouse, and that's why it's really good at Photoshop. But why is it bad at Photoshop? Well, it's bad at Photoshop because of the fact that well, you're missing right click when you're holding down left click, which doesn't really bother you most of the time. But a lot of people might have a problem with the fact that you might scroll when you click. It's another problem that I really had with the Magic Mouse and makes it really bad for Minecraft, is the fact that it's really hard to click without accidentally scrolling. That is probably the main reason that I wanted to get a new mouse, is because of the fact that that happens. I actually ended up disabling scrolling like permanently in Windows because of the fact that I just didn't want to do that, and then eventually I'm just like, whatever, I'm just getting a new mouse. So basically, if you're not exactly sure on what I mean by clicking or scrolling when you click, basically what I mean by that is every time, well, first let me tell you, if you're not sure how the mouse looks, you can look it up. Magic Mouse, Apple Magic Mouse. The entire surface of the mouse, it's sort of like a curved sheet of glass. The entire surface of the mouse is a touch screen, basically. It's not a screen, but it's a touch surface. It's a multi-touch surface, so you can click with multiple fingers. Now, by default, its surface basically scrolls. So your entire mouse is a scroll wheel, basically. You can scroll in any direction. Imagine having your phone as a mouse, and the screen can scroll in any direction. Now, unlike a phone, this is something that you probably are wondering. It does not have as much friction, so it's very slick. So that's something that's really nice about it. Something that I don't like about touchscreens is the fact that your finger sometimes tends to have a lot of friction with the screen, so you'll have this sort of warm, uncomfortable feeling, and your finger will sort of drag across the screen, making it hard to do quick swipes and whatnot. That doesn't exist with the Magic Mouse. It's really quick. But whenever you click, for example in Minecraft, let's say I want to destroy a block. Well, when I destroy a block, sometimes what will happen is it'll switch to the next item in my hotbar because I scrolled, even though I clicked on the mouse. And that can be a problem when you're dealing with stuff like lava buckets and you don't realize that you switched and suddenly you've got lava everywhere. Also, it's annoying because you have to keep switching back. So that's why I disabled scrolling, because I don't want to deal with that, but scrolling is kind of important. Also, another bad thing, I couldn't use scrolling to switch between hotbar items anyway, because every time I scrolled, it basically went full circle and I just was back at the item that I started with because it was so fast. You couldn't really adjust the speed very well. Actually, you basically couldn't at all. You'd probably have to download some custom program, and even then, you'd still have all the clicking issues and everything. And this happened between Windows and Mac OS X, so there wasn't really a difference there. Now, another thing that I have to get used to is the fact that because of that scrolling problem, I got used to using my mouse without touching it. What I mean by that is I sort of hovered my fingers over the mouse, which was really weird. It's sort of the thing you have to do with the Magic Mouse. You can't keep your fingers on the mouse, because if you sort of twitch or something, you'll end up scrolling. So basically I just sort of hovered over the mouse, and that was a big problem that I had when it came to using a mouse. Here I'm getting some lag again. I'm not sure why that happens. have to figure out. Maybe it's just the RAM. So, yeah, so now I have this new mouse, and it's great. I mean, it's just awesome. I don't have any more problems with scrolling, but since I was using the keys, the number keys to scroll, it sort of gave me, I sort of got used to using those. So now sometimes I'll use those and I'll remember, oh yeah, I have the scroll wheel, so I use the scroll wheel and I sort of bounce back between the two. So it'll take me a little bit of time to completely get used to the scroll wheel. And yeah, so here I'm sort of brainstorming. Now I keep it looking like this. You'll see what I kind of do here. I eventually change this, so it does look kind of ugly at first. I sort of add this weird blue sort of weirdness here. I end up removing that, so don't worry about that. But it sort of gives me an idea here. So yeah, I end up getting an idea of adding pistons of light sort of all over the place. I do it in the hallways and stuff. It adds a really cool effect at the end of hallways. So yeah, so here I'm kind of wondering what the heck I'm doing. So another thing I should mention, if you're ever doing any kind of custom map, this is something that I realized during the making so far, is the fact that world generation is not your friend at all. It's not your friend. Basically, if you ever want to make any kind of custom map at all, keep world gen off. Generate the caves, all of that, because caves are terrible. Caves are absolutely horrible. What I mean by that is, when you're digging these tunnels, you basically sometimes have to make walls, and all that kind of stuff. Also with this map that I regret is the fact that I didn't do this in a flat world. I believed I started making this, again, I didn't start making this on camera. I had it a bit finished already, and that's because it was sort of laying in my server folder for a little bit, so I'm not exactly sure what version of Minecraft I started making this map. It might have been before the custom flat worlds, so I'm not sure if I had the option of doing so. But flat worlds are definitely something that I'm going to use from now on when doing this indoor kind of stuff. Another thing you can do is just use a flat world and then just MC edit in a landscape at the top. That's another thing that I might do. So yeah, flat worlds and no world gen is really nice. It's really helpful. Something I might actually do is I like to use, whenever I make something, I like to use stone brick. I like to use iron, and I like to use half slabs, either stone brick or stone half slabs. And they add this sort of like industrial effect. The stone bricks sort of give an old sort of medieval effect, but when you add iron and the stone half slabs, it gives it a sort of industrial effect, and I really like that. So a lot of the stuff that I make includes that kind of stuff. So yeah, here I'm admiring the pasting feature that World Edit has and everyone has come to love. So bam, check that out. No effort involved. So here I was kind of mad that I didn't include the glowstone because I didn't go far enough. I end up the funny thing is I end up changing half this glowstone anyway later on, so yeah, there we've got some more unfortunate world generation problems. So this map is going to be completely mob free. That's something that I wanted to say here. It's going to be completely mob free because I don't really think that survival games should have mobs. Maybe, I'm not sure. I might implement some mobs in the vanilla version of this, just because, you know, you can have like this area where there'll be a game rule that would say, no mob spawns. There won't be any natural mob spawning, but there will be some custom mobs that will spawn. For example, I can make a thing where you can trigger some redstone, and it'll spawn a ton of zombies somewhere. So yeah, so that's this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Subscribe, all that cool stuff.